Now, what is the reason for all the evil in America? Number one, they passed laws that you can't talk about God in a school. You'll be thrown in jail. You can't teach about God in the schools. You can't pray. You can't salute the flag. You can't recite the allegiance to the flag or sing the national anthem. You can't do anything that God says according to man of today. They're evil. Why is this happening? Everybody's asking that question tonight. I'm going to read something right here in the book of Exodus, chapter 18. Let's see, 18 and verse 20. Let's see what that says. This is God telling you, all right? And I'm looking right at me. Fortunately, there's some other folks going to hear this too. And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws. God's talking about the people in charge. Talking about teaching the people, especially the children, of his ordinances and laws. If you followed them, you wouldn't have this stuff happening like what just happened in South Florida. Because God would have been there. And shalt show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Is that what happens? Nope. Nobody teaches the children the Word of God. Let's see, Exodus 35 and 34. Let's see, there's another one here. There's all kinds of stuff in this book, man. You want to take the time to look it up? You can find it. Let's see what else God says. And he hath put in his heart that he may teach both he and Holiab, the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. Now he's talking about some people here that are going to teach. Now, what would God be telling a man to teach other than his commandments and laws and guidance on the proper way of living? Holiness, righteousness, the right way of living. There's one little verse right here. I just picked that right out of it. Now, if you read the whole story, you'd see that follow right into a good flow. But I'm not going to read all that. I'm going to read single verses tonight. Let's see. Let's get into Leviticus. Let's see where Leviticus is. Leviticus 10 and verse 11. So you take the time to look this stuff up. God will guide you right. Here it is. Oh, I got a couple of them already marked here. Let me move back. I'm at Leviticus 10. I was going to read just verse 11, but I'm going to read 8, 9, 10, 11. And the Lord spake unto Aaron, Moses' brother, saying, Do not drink wine nor strong drink, thou nor thy sons with thee, when ye go into the tabernacle of the congregation, lest ye die. He's giving him some good guidance because he's going to be the priest. You can't bring any garbage into where God is. Now, supposedly God is in all these churches around here. You go to the church to worship, especially a Catholic one. Guess what? They give you the wine in the Catholic Church. And half of those priests up there, they're already drunk. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generations. Those people are still generating people. And that's the statute right there. Do you hear anybody teaching those statutes? Nope. Not a one. Oh yeah, I am. And I'm only repeating what God says. It don't come from me. I had to learn it just like you. And that ye may put difference between holy and unholy. See that? If you're not doing all the crap, you're the holy. Because all the other is unholy. That's what God says, not me. And between clean and unclean. That's what God says. And that ye may teach. Now, what is God telling him to teach other than good stuff? Do you hear any of that out there? You know, I listen to John Hagee. He's got a church in San Antonio, Texas. He's got some pretty good teachings out there. I don't agree with all of his doctrine, but he puts out a pretty good sermon. You ought to listen to John Hagee sometime. Or Jim Baker. He's in Missouri. I think it's Branson, Missouri. And this is God talking to Aaron. Through Moses, probably. And that ye may teach the children of Israel all the statutes which the Lord hath spoken unto them by the hand of Moses. There's the commandment right there. And it's in other areas too. Teach the children. And what does man in America say? What is the law? You can't teach them about God. They'll throw you in jail. They will ostracize you. The question is, why does the killing go on in South Florida? Because nobody is teaching those kids about God. A lot of those kids come from outside this country. They are not Americans. They're from somewhere else. And they do not want to follow the commandments, ordinances, and statutes of God. Let me look at another one. Deuteronomy 31:19. Deuteronomy. How about that for a word, huh? Deuteronomy 31 and verse 19. Here it is over here. Now therefore, write ye this song for you, and teach it the children of Israel. There he is now. The song here, we're talking about all the good stuff, all the right stuff, all the righteousness. Who's he telling you to teach it to? The children. How can your country survive if you don't teach the children the proper path to walk? If they all go down the path of filth, the whole country goes in that direction. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me against the children of Israel. In other words, prove it. As the children grow older, there's a verse in here that says, bring up a child in the way that he should go. Now, we're talking about bringing up a child. Now, that's not to say that some of these kids won't go down that wrong path. They do. Unfortunately, it's because they harden themselves against the commandments of God. But the ones who accept it, when they are old, they will not depart from it. That's what happened to me. In the beginning, I was a real scumbag. When I got to be 27 years old, God revealed himself to me. And he did it in such a way that he left no room for doubt. And here it is. I'm 70 years old now. I'm still sitting here reading my Bible. I'm still talking to God. I actually worship God. He's shown me how to love my wife. For a time that we had problems, God cleaned up all of that. He showed us the right path to walk. And it's difficult at times, but we actually put one foot in front of the other, and we get closer and closer and closer to the resurrection day. Let me read some more here. Deuteronomy 31:19. That's the one I just read. Deuteronomy 17:11. Whoa. 17. I'm going back here a ways. You see, I have all the time that I need to do this. And I do it comfortably. 17, verse 11. Deuteronomy 17:11. Just picking verses out. Every verse is worth all the tea in China. According to the sentence of the law, which they shall teach thee. Here we go again, talking about teaching God's laws. And according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline them, or decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand, nor to the left. When you get guided into the right spot, there's nothing else that matters. There's nothing else you should do. It might seem tough. There's another verse in here that says, my laws at the moment might seem a little grievous and rough to do, but in the end, it's worthwhile. If you were cooking in a frying pan, cooking up some nice meat, right? Nice crisp on the outside and medium rare on the inside. Nice beef, right? You ate it. Look at the frying pan. Ooh, it's got all sticky stuff all over it. It's not exactly clean, right? You need to clean off the old stuff before you put some more new stuff in there, right? So you get a little scrub brush and you scrub it. And the pan is saying, ow, ooh, ooh, that hurts. Then after you do that for a while and it becomes nice and smooth, all the crud's gone. And you flip the sponge over to the smooth side, and you wipe it all out, and the frying pan says, that feels good. I'm so glad you did that. How about that for an analogy, huh? Well, I did this. All right, I just dropped my pen, so hold on to yourself. Let me pick it up. All right, I was feeling a little bit down and out earlier when I started this stuff tonight. Feeling a little better now. You want to know why? Because I'm in the Word of God. I got faith. I got trust in God. A little bit of Marco Rubio again. Look at the name on that one. Texas Spring Water, baby. From HEB. All right, I'm going to read in Deuteronomy chapter 6, in verse 7. Let's see what that one says. Chapter 6, verse 7. Now, I'm just reading the verse. I'm right into the middle of all the stories, But we could pick something out of every single verse in this book. We're answering the question, why is that evil stuff, like what happened in South Florida today, happening in America? It's because America has turned its back on God. They're making their own laws, pushing God aside under penalty of going to prison. If you do the stuff against the law, they can lock you up. Prepare to defend yourself. If there was one person in that school that could have got to him, that had a weapon, a legal, law-abiding weapon, he could have killed that guy right there and maybe saved some lives. But the law says you can't bring a gun into the school. All right. Deuteronomy 6 and verse 7. Let's see what it says. And thou shalt teach. Here we go again. Teach. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children. He's talking about the commandments of God, the ordinances, the statutes. God repeatedly throughout this book says, teach it, teach it, teach it. If you don't teach it, they end up hey, the evil one is teaching evil. Look at what them Muslims teach, man. The communists. Look at what Lurch, the mayor of New York City, teaches. All of California now is evil. The entire state. There are a few good folks in there, yes, there are. But the law, man-made law in California, is all evil. How are you going to stop that? Those people need to be taken down. Wonder how that's going to happen. Let me read this verse. This is Deuteronomy 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently. You've heard me talk about diligence unto thy children. If you diligently seek the Lord, you will find him. He will reveal himself to you. If you diligently seek him for the right reason. And shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. All right. An exhortation to obedience is the headline on chapter 6. And because I just read that verse right there, I know I need to go to verse 1 in chapter 6 and read the whole thing. But I've almost concluded on this particular segment that I'm doing tonight. So I'm going to have to stop this. I'm going to knock it off. Before I do, I'm going to look you right in the face. And I keep saying, I'm looking at me. I can see me right here. So I'm talking to me. Nice looking old guy, huh? Do the right thing. As tough as it may seem, do the right thing. And keep calm. Right? That's what I'm saying to myself, but I'm also saying it to you. I'll be right back.